Hey, what's up, everybody? Today, we're going to talk about Jerry Jones, okay? In just a few days, we're going to find out if he will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. So today, we're going to be talking about that. Will Jerry Jones be in the Hall of Fame? Will he get inducted? Should he be in the Hall of Fame? All right, so we're going to talk about that topic today. So that means instant seriousness, cat mode time is in effect, okay? So I'm going to bring on a special guest, Ben Sudderth. Alright, so I have a special guest on tonight, Ben Sudderth. Been knowing Ben here for a couple years now, right, Ben?
Yeah, just about a year and a half.
Yeah, so talking Cowboys, I've been on Ben's show. Hey, Ben, can you tell my viewers how to reach you online, how to access your show?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So you can find it. It's on Spreaker.com, and it's like speaker, but it's spelled different. So SPREAKER.com/BS3 Sports, BS the number 3 Sports. Or if you type it in to Google, you can definitely pull it up, or on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
All right, and then they can reach you on Twitter too, right?
Yes, yeah, that's probably my main squeeze right there. I use Twitter a lot, so you can definitely reach me there.
All right, Ben. So let's get right into it. Today's topic is, will Jerry Jones get inducted into the Hall of Fame, and should he get inducted into the Hall of Fame? What's your thoughts on that, Ben?
I would say yes. I mean, Jerry Jones has done a lot for the NFL game. I don't think he should go in necessarily as a GM. I guess I would say as owner, because he's done a lot for the game. He's transcended really the game of football, the way to the NFL the way it is now. And he's got a huge say so in how a lot of things happen. So I would say yes, should be hands down, with the amount of championships, with the amount of players that he's brought in his business. When you look at the Cowboys before he got the Cowboys, or from the time he got it to now, there's Cowboys fans everywhere. So to me, that alone should say he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So I agree, man. I think Jerry Jones should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think there's any question. But what do you think? What would be a reason why he wouldn't get in? Like, what do you think it would be?
I think some of his probably poor decisions. Signing older guys. Not wanting to draft guys that are not great for the team. Really taking over or being in the ear too much of the coach. Because there's a lot of national media and people here in Dallas too. They think and they believe Jerry Jones is running the team still, which I don't think he is anymore. But it was so many years where Jerry was blamed for a lot. So I think if you look at just his football, you look at just the football aspect and the decision that he's made, you could say he shouldn't get in. But if you look at the broad picture of everything, then I think it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, totally agree, man. We're definitely on the same page here about this. Yeah, so, man, Jerry Jones bought the team for $140 million in 1989, and the estimated value of the Cowboys is now $4.2 billion. How amazing is that?
That's just crazy. I mean, if you want to talk about flipping something, that's pretty much what he did and made it into an empire. Like I said, there's fans everywhere. Anywhere I go, there's Cowboys fans. Anybody I talk to anywhere, I mean, Canada, around the world. I mean, you can go anywhere and find a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere also and find a Cowboys hater, which to Jerry, it's all the same. I mean, it's gonna put the money in his pocket, so it really doesn't matter that much to him.
Well, that is true, man. Yeah, you're right about the haters, man. They're out there, but yeah, definitely he's made the Cowboys a global enterprise. I mean, there's something to be said about that. I mean, that's an amazing feat. Let's talk about this. As for Jerry Jones, what have been some of his best moves as an owner slash GM?
I would say some of his best moves, I would have to say, well, number one, I would have to say, that Herschel Walker trade, all the amount of picks that they got, the amount of people, the amount of players that they brought in to help them in the future, that was huge right there. I think bringing in Jimmy, I think was smart. I think people forget about this too, bringing in Parcells. Parcells did a lot to help them get into that stadium. He with that I think they had a 12-4 year. So I mean, I would say that. In addition, him stepping back to me is probably the biggest thing, because you look at 2 years ago, we probably would have drafted Johnny Manziel if it was up to him, which that would have been a terrible decision. But I think him kind of taking a back seat to Stephen Jones, I think has been huge. Will McClay, letting him do a lot of different things. So I would say those are probably the top 4 things that he's done.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Bringing on Jimmy Johnson, I think, was just one of the best moves. Obviously, I agree with you. I mean, without Jimmy, you're looking at a team that would be you wouldn't know if they would have the Super Bowls with that duo of Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson, and coming up with that monster trade, like you said, it transformed the team into a dynasty.
Right.
And in sports, it's hard to come up with these dynasties, especially now. And I think the Cowboys are on the right path with him kind of taking a step back. And like you said, Stephen Jones and Will McClay taking more of a lead role in some of the personnel of the players. I think that's a good thing too. If you had to say, because I think some of these will be some of the conversations, right, that these voters are going to be talking about. Like, what are some of his, what makes him, an inductee? What would be some bad moves that would could chip away at that? Like, what do you think they would be talking about as far as bad moves?
As far as bad moves, I would have to say, trading for Joey Galloway, trading for Ward Williams, which on the outside looking in, I thought that was a good deal, but that really wasn't.
Right.
He trading for T.O. I mean, T.O. did great here, but again, he was a cancer, like he is in every locker room that he's been in. Also not to mention not getting along with Jimmy when Jimmy was so successful here. To me, that is something that people will never forget. How many more championships would they have won if Jimmy was here? I would say also hiring Wade Phillips. I mean, that was like almost like having his grandfather basically coach the team. He's a great defensive coordinator. When it comes to head coaching, it's not necessarily his forte.
And what do you?
But I would say that also Landry too. The way the Landry thing ended. I mean, I wasn't here in Dallas during that time, but from what I've read and from what I've heard, it probably wasn't handled the best possible way.
Oh yeah, I agree. Totally agree with you on that. Man, it's gonna be interesting. Do you think this is gonna be a done deal? Like, you think he has this thing locked up, or you think there's a possibility that he won't get in?
No, I think it's a done deal. I think right now he's just trying to figure out who's going to induct him. I think that to me is really probably the biggest question. Like, who do you have? Is it Steven? Is it your family? Is it the triplets? You get all three of them up there? I mean, how do you?
Yeah.
Who do you have to induct you? But I think it's got to be his voice in the NFL is just crazy right now. He was a huge part of the Rams moving to LA.
Right.
I'm sure he was a huge part with the Raiders situation. He's going to be a huge part with the Chargers situation. So to me, that is that's more icing on the cake of just the role that he has in the NFL as a whole.
Yeah, I agree. To me, he has that kind of power, that kind of sway. That's kind of like what these old school NFL and AFL owners have, and a lot of those guys are in the Hall of Fame. And I honestly see Jerry Jones in that same way. He's just very transformative and has really lifted the NFL as a whole to another level. I mean, these monster TV deals and football, Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night. I mean, there's more. Football is everywhere. And when it's football season, it's in your face everywhere, and who doesn't love it?
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I was even watching some of the Pro Bowl, which I told myself I wasn't going to do it, but if football is football. Like I gravitate to it, even if it's college, if it's NFL, if it's high school. I mean, it's a sport, not like none of the other sports.
That's exactly how I feel, and I talked about that in one of my other videos that I watched it because we're down to 2 NFL games, and then that's it. We have the longest off season in sports. It's like what, 7 months.
Right. Yeah. I was actually telling my coworker today. It's funny you say that. I'm telling my coworker today. Now we have to go through the worst time of the year between now and between when the Super Bowl's over to when the season starts. But the good thing is you got off season news. Of course, you got the draft. So there'll be some things to kind of give us a taste, but it's nothing like watching the actual game.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's like we're on life support from here throughout. Just getting any kind of news we can get, man. All right, so yeah, that's good stuff, Ben. I appreciate you talking to me about Jerry Jones, and you made a lot of good points. Let's talk about this now. The Offensive Rookie of the Year. All right, so let me give you a couple of names here, and I pretty much know what you're gonna say. Well, I think I do. But a couple of names that are being considered: Jack Conklin, the right tackle of the Titans; Ezekiel Elliott; Tyreek Hill from the Chiefs; Dak Prescott; Michael Thomas, the receiver from the Saints; and maybe even Jordan Howard, the running back from Chicago. Okay, so of those names, who's your Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Hands down is Zeke. And I actually wrote an article during the season of him for MVP. I don't think the MVP thing is going to happen because the last game he didn't play at all. He didn't get the record, Eric Dickerson record. But to me, it's got to be him because if you look at the amount of yards that he rushed for, and if you look at the impact he's had on this team, I love Dak, and he is great for this team. But Zeke set the tone. When Zeke was going, I mean, it's like the game was just moving at a smooth pace. When he wasn't going, it was a lot on Dak's shoulders, which he did great in a lot of situations. But leading the league in rushing as a rookie, and it wasn't like it was, 200 yards more than the other person. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 300 to 400 yards more. So he was clearly the rushing clearly going to get the rushing title.
Oh yeah,
and clearly was the best running back in the NFL this year.
No doubt. And he didn't even really play with the fourth quarter of the Detroit game, and didn't even play that final game, and he still won the rushing title. That's just amazing, for a rookie, like you say. Amazing.
That's Adrian Peterson like. That's what that is.
It's very exciting. So. It's hard for running backs to get the league MVP. What do you think it would take for Zeke to snatch up the league MVP? Let's say like next year or sometime in the future.
I think he's going to have to break a record. It's going to have to be like a single season rushing record, single season touchdown record. It's going to have to be something like that to put him further in the spotlight, because quarterbacks, which I'm sure you probably know too, it's like a quarterback-driven MVP type of league.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterbacks get it the majority of the time.
It's true.
If you're a running back and you get it, you have to do something astronomical. I mean, you have to break a record, and it has to be, something that's been held for a long time. So if I truly think if he would have broke Eric Dickerson's record, which hasn't been broken since however long it's been, he would have won MVP this year. But going forward, I think if he breaks the record, he'll definitely get it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. I agree, man. Zeke. Okay, everybody needs to get familiar with this guy. If they don't know him, they gotta be under a rock somewhere, don't you think?
Yeah, really. Like have to have no TV, no phone, line. I mean, something.
Yeah, man. He's an exciting player, man. I think, man, it's just crazy. Like the Pro Bowl. I think even the Pro Bowl, having those guys in there, people want to see them. I think they drew in some viewers. Just.
Just for them alone.
Yeah.
Especially Dez was there too.
Mm-hmm.
That to me was a little confusing. I'm a Dez fan like everybody else, but I was like, he didn't even lead the team in receiving. So I don't know why they picked him. So that was kind of head scratching, I think, to me.
I know. It's true. All right, Ben. Well, that's good conversation there on that topic. I'm with you. Ezekiel Elliott, Offensive Rookie of the Year, no doubt. Like, not even close, I don't think. These other guys, I mean, they're good. They're very good playmakers themselves in their own right. And obviously, Dak Prescott. But, yeah, Zeke, unstoppable. Behind that offensive line, man, it's just going to be something special to watch in these coming years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Ben, real quick. Who are you picking to win the Super Bowl?
I'm picking the Falcons. I think they're going to be able to do similar to what Clemson did. Climb the mountain, beat the giant of the Patriots, and their defense. They have a good offense and defense, which. Well, defense has been slept on, and I've been hating on Atlanta all year. But I'm on the Atlanta wagon as far as the Super Bowl goes, and I think Atlanta's gonna win it.
I hear you, man. So, do you want them to win, or do you think they will win, or what is your how confident are you in the pick?
I think they're gonna win.
Okay.
I do want them to win also.
Right.
Part of it also is just the Patriots, man. They're just so freaking good that I don't want to see them win another one. I like to see the underdog win. And the Falcons are clearly an underdog in this game.
And it's crazy. That offense is something special, man. I'm excited to see it, man. I want to see what the mad scientist Bill Belichick does. To stop that offense, you know what I mean? Because that's his speciality, is taking out your primary guys, and they win like that. So I'm gonna see what are they gonna do. I'm with you though. I want the Falcons to win, and I think they will win. I think as good as the Patriots are, I think the Falcons just have too much. They're a complete team offensively. The defense is looking like a Seahawks type defense, a championship caliber defense. So I'm with you on the picks too.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is who is going to cover Julio Jones. Right, and if anybody says Malcolm Butler, I don't think can cover. I don't think anyone can cover Julio Jones. So that you're right. What is Belichick going to come up with against that monster?
Yeah, and that is a big monster. That Julio Jones has the height, speed, physicality. I mean, he's an elite wide receiver to me. I mean, he is elite. Like, just I can't wait to see this game, man. I think it's gonna be a good one.
Oh yeah, me too.
All right, Ben. Well, I appreciate you coming on my channel. This is the first time I've had Ben on. Hopefully, we'll have you back on here and discuss, the draft, some prospects here. We get more familiar with the names that are coming out, and the combine, and free agency. So we'll be glad to have you on again, Ben.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd love to come on again.
All right, Ben. I appreciate it, man.
All right.
All right, have a good one.
Take care.
All right.
You too.
All right, so this is a conversation there I had with Ben Sudderth. As you can tell, we're both very passionate Cowboys fans, and I really enjoy his perspective on things. Like I said, follow his podcast on Spreaker. Very good stuff. He does it weekly. I like to tune in. It's just, I mean, sports. Who doesn't love to listen to sports? And Ben knows this stuff. And he doesn't just cover the Cowboys. It covers, a lot of the DFW, the Rangers, the Mavericks, and all the teams here in the DFW area. So that's it for now. Let me know in the comments. What do y'all think? Do you think Jerry Jones will get into the Hall of Fame? Or should he be in the Hall of Fame? And also, who's your offensive rookie of the year? Like, as if I need to ask. But anyway, do you think it's going to be Zeke, a lock? Or do you think it might be somebody who might come out of nowhere and win it? It could Prescott possibly win it. All right. So, please like my video and subscribe to my channel, okay? And we'll be back on the next video. Thanks.